Let me tell you about the worst day of my life. It was July 1st, 2011. It was a moving day. I was standing in what soon to be would be my former bedroom, surrounded by moving boxes, when the phone rang. 6 weeks earlier, I had discovered an ominous lump on the side of my neck and took tests, and now the tests were in, and this was the call. I don't remember anything beyond those three words that nobody ever wants to hear. You have cancer. Turns out I had a tumor at the base of my tongue that was metastasizing to my lymph nodes. And if that wasn't scary enough, a really good friend of mine recently, just a couple of months before, died of the very same cancer I had. So you could say that it would be understandable that that would be the worst day of my life. And yet today, when I look back on that whole period, it shows up as the best thing that ever happened. And I'm not alone in that. There's millions of other cancer patients who have a similar experience. Why? How does the worst day of your life become the best thing that ever happened? What is it about cancer that gives it the transformative power to change a life-threatening challenge to a life-changing opportunity? Well, the Buddhists have a saying. They say that everybody knows they're going to die, but nobody believes it. And once you get a cancer diagnosis, you start to believe it. I sure did. And I just started noticing in various different ways. This is the first time I couldn't comfort myself with my usual platitudes of, so I would say to myself, hey, look, what's the worst thing that can happen? Yeah. Or, hey, at least you got your health. No. See, cancer wouldn't let me turn away. I had to confront the reality of my mortality. Life became a matter of both life and death. Before all I knew was life. Life was everywhere, everything in every direction. It was all I knew. So it kind of disappeared because life was everything there is. Now suddenly there was an edge to life. There was a place where life stopped and something that wasn't life began. And suddenly my life stopped being everything and disappeared and became very real and kind of like a beautiful jewel, a beautiful, shining, perfect jewel that was on a black velvet pillow. And I began to have these kind of strange insights like, hey, my birth certificate is actually a temporary visa. I'm kind of just passing through. So I don't want to miss anything. I was given the same treatment choices that everybody who has cancer gets. Do you want to be burned, poisoned, or cut? I picked burning. So I had to endure 5-day sessions a week of radiation for 7 weeks. And during that time, I had a lot of time to ponder and think. And in the middle of this process of radiation, I felt like it was kind of like a trial by fire or kind of a rite of passage. And I also read about this pine cone of the lodgepole pine, which doesn't germinate unless it's been burned in a fire. That's what releases all its potential. So it's interesting. And so it's been now more than 9 years. So I can safely say that I'm not going to die from this. I'm going to die from something else. So my life has become this really great book that I hope never ends. But I noticed that the pages are they're beginning to reduce, they're dwindling, and so I know it's inevitable. So I I pledge to cherish every page, every paragraph, every sentence, every word, and to take advantage and to not miss a second of this beautiful thing that's called my life. What a story. After I finished my treatments, I returned to one of my favorite places on earth, which is the Burning Man Festival in the Nevada desert. And I was hanging out at this place called the Center Camp. Center Camp is like a community center. And I was looking around and I looked, and then I looked out, and in the doorway, there he was. It was death, the Grim Reaper. But I'm talking about like a Hollywood style, really believable Grim Reaper. And so I was staring at his costume and looking at me. He turned and he caught me looking at him. And then he just kind of raised his hand and pointed to me. And he went, and I had to go to him. And he enfolded me. I could hear him breathing. And he put his bony hands on my shoulders. And he held me at arm's length. And he looked at me and said, "See you later." Well, not today, my friend. Not today. I want to leave you with something. A dear friend of ours lost her mother recently, and I was moved to write to her, and this is what came out, and I want to share it with you. Somehow, the inescapable reality that each and every one of us will face the loss of each and every one of us is what makes every moment of being alive such a poignant, precious, priceless treasure. Death is like the punctuation at the end of a sentence. Without it, life wouldn't be seen as what it is, an exquisite, finite, and fragile moment in the continuum of time, a soap bubble floating on the summer breeze, an enchanting, breathtaking, mysterious, momentary miracle. Thank you so much.